Thank you very much for making it to another meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. We are here at the Marriott, Santa Barbara Goleta Marriott, and we've got a nice, good room full of people. I'm very happy to see that you all made it. I'm not quite sure if anybody got my little messages that I was sending back on Meetup about what. Oh, the back door needs to be unlocked. We'll leave it open and maybe we can have them unlock it. Just ask them to unlock it. Okay. Okay, there we go.
We've got the sensei with us.
Okay. So, not quite sure if anybody read any of that stuff. Did anybody read any of that stuff that I sent back about the goals and focusing or any of that kind of stuff? Nobody? Interesting. So you just all showed up out of your own commitment of what it is that you want. Wonderful. I was trying to figure out, well, what does it take, to inspire people and to make things happen? And, it's like kind of a flip of the coin. You just don't know, but this tells me a lot. The other thing that I want to see is, I'm sorry to say we're going to try to refrain from handshaking. So if you're going to shake somebody's hand, please don't feel that they're rude, because I've been telling people, don't shake hands, don't give people hugs. We know what's coming down the pike. We got to get in the habit before it gets here, so that's just my little thing. You can still do it if you want to, but I'm hoping you don't. Okay? Drink Budweiser, not Corona. In any case, what we've got here is the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association website, long version, short version, and we've got my son Michael Ringwald here helping us with the videos. This is when he goes, oh, thank you. And what we do is we video everything and put it up on YouTube. Now, why do we do that? First of all, because Santa Barbara is really hard to get a lot of people here. It's a small venue, and today you've kind of just thrown that whole thing off because there's a lot of people showing up right off the bat, which is wonderful. But, a lot of speakers, if they come to a place, they want to see a lot of people. And if we've only got 10 people, they're like, no, we're not going to show up. So we video it, we put it up on YouTube, we drive business back to their website. And a lot of speakers have said, well, if you could do that, I guess I could, think a little bit more about showing up. The other reason is because it gives us a tool to go back and look at some of this stuff, because I'll sit here and I'll listen to Sensei and other people and go, I was there and I didn't ever hear them say that. I didn't get what they were saying. I had to watch this thing 2 or 3 times on the video to figure that out. So that helps. A lot of different reasons. It's all up there. We've got years worth of videos. So you really should check those out when you have the time. Has anybody been to the YouTube site to look at any of the videos? A couple people? Okay, good. So it's there. Very helpful. Linda, did I ask you to close that door? Thanks. Marriott's wonderful. I love it here. Unfortunately, we are in the flight path of the Santa Barbara airport. So you got a little bit of that noise going on in the background. And with the door closed, that'll make it a little bit easier for us all. Meetup. This really is helping. The other thing that this is helping is for any of the speakers who's wondering, kind of like Sensei back there, Dan, do we really have anybody showing up at this meeting? I can point them back to Meetup and go, hey, this isn't my fake news. Might be their fake news. I don't think it's fake, it's real. Their numbers are right there that show you how many people are going to be in the meeting. And so we are up to about 33 people for this meeting, which was wonderful. I saw that and went, okay, we got a chance. Something's going to happen here. A good place for you to sign up and be a member, because people can look at that and then go, oh, Joel, I see you had this service. You were up there on Meetup. Can you help me with this? Okay, and he's like, sure, I can help you. So it's a way for you to advertise your services, what you do, and also find out who does what and who can help you out. So it's a very good thing. Is it loud enough? Good. Okay. So that, and it's free for you. I pay for it. You don't. But my wife has been saying, Dan, you're paying for way too many things. We've got to start cutting some of this stuff down that's not doing anything. I'm going, yeah, we are cutting things down, believe me. We'll talk about that too. We had our kind of half hour of registration getting in here and a little bit of networking. So, you know, we probably won't have much time for that for the rest of the 4 hours that we're here. But you guys, I encourage you to, if you have business cards, put them on the tables, hand them out. You know, you're here to get in contact with people and make things work for you. So, you know, this is where you do it. Okay? Our little agenda. I'm here till about 2 o'clock. And I didn't put my little clock out here, so somebody's going to have to hold your hand up and tell me, Linda, when we're getting close to 2 o'clock, okay? Thank you. Wholesaling, I'll cover a little bit of wholesaling that I do. Lease to own properties. I've got a couple different entities, businesses. REI Pro is on your table. If you guys want some training, videos, information on how to wholesale, how to do real estate. I didn't do this. This is so good that I looked at it and said, this guy spent a lot of money and it's really good. I just assume promote it and use it and help the people. If you come to me and you want some training, and the first thing I'm going to do is get you hooked up with that and say, hey, you're going to use this tool, and you know, I'm here to help you, I'm here to guide you, I'm here to answer questions and whatever else, but you've got a wealth of information there that can step you through how to do this business. How to do it, getting the information how to do it, that's nothing like actually doing it. You know, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time to learn this and a lot of commitment to follow it through. Oops. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the free training. Go Green, we're going to talk a little bit about energy and what's happening with people's homes. And then we're going to talk about supersize, not downsize. Okay? And then we've got Sensei. Let's give Sensei a hand for being here. Thank you. He's there. Thank God the freeways were good enough to let you get through and you made it on time. God. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Sensei is a great speaker, good deep voice, and he's loud and good. So we don't need any microphones or that kind of stuff. He's a good guy. He's got a lot here you can see that we're going to be covering, or he's going to be covering. And he's been at a number of our meetings in the past, and I love this guy. He's just like, he's real. He's a good person to work with. And then we do have a free table on the outside, Everybody's at different points in their investing, in their knowledge, and their education. So anytime we have any information that I'm not using, I toss it out on the free table. It's out there. You can have it. You can take it, whatever you want. You can clean the whole table off and take it home yourself, one person, if you want to. What don't you put on the free table?
Like phones, wallets, stuff like that.
Don't put your phone or your wallet on the free table. It won't last very long, and that's what it's for. It's free, so the last thing you want to do is set something on that table that you really didn't want to lose, right? All the mistakes we make in life. So, and then also vendors, and we do have a vendor here today. We have Linda Pliagas. Yay! We're going to have you come up here, Linda, and give us a little rundown of what you do. She is my lifesaver. She got me out of Bob's Pizza when I was having meetings there, and everybody's going, what did you say, Dan? And I get ready to say something, and they'd say, Bob, your pizza's ready. And she said, Dan, you gotta kind of step it up. So that's why we're in better venues now. Thank you, Linda.
Hi, Dan. Hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome to the meeting. It's a pleasure to be here. I would like to invite you to our real estate expo that we're having in Irvine. Dan, I hope you can make this one. It's going to be a great event. It's March 28th, and we do have speakers from around the country joining us. And I want to give kudos to one of our speakers, Alton Jones, who is closing a deal with one of our Realty 401 investors that came to our Irvine event last year. And in 2 weeks, they'll be cashing a check, and each one of them will be making $200,000. Each.
Wow.
And it's his first deal. It's a windfall for our investor, and he's very appreciative, and I'm so proud of him and Alton. And they're actually in escrow on one deal closing in 2 weeks, but they have 2 other deals that they're already rehabbing. So those are on the pipeline. So this investor, in 1 year, once all those 3 deals are done, he's going to be cashing in, or earning, I should say, over $500,000 in
really-
1 year.
Really?
And Alton is on the road to making over $1 million in 1 year through his affiliation with Realty 411. So we're very proud of him and the investor, and of course I'm ecstatic. When I found out, I was cheering. I almost cried. I was so teary-eyed because when I hear about success stories like that, it validates all our hard work. Please visit realty411.com. We have great articles there, information to help you, and we're here for you. And if I can help you in any way, let me know. I am an investor. My husband and I have some rentals up in Lompoc. We live in Solvang. I am local. And if we can help in any way, please let me know and visit realty411.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Wow. Such an inspiration. You know, it's nice to go to a little meeting like this because it's intimate and you can ask the speaker questions and they're willing to talk with you. If they're in a meeting where they've got 500 or 300 people, it's really difficult for them to answer any questions as they're going. But you should go to those meetings where there's 300 people. You should go to those meetings that Linda's talking about. I went to one of them and met an investor there that bailed us out of some problems we had in the past. You know, in real estate, kind of goes up and down, your finances go up and down, and we were at a point where we had, geez, we really got to hack away at this credit card debt, but we got to get our credit scores up there to refinance some things. And one of the investors that Linda had there said, well, Dan, I can loan you some money. What do you want? And I said, well, probably about $100,000. He said, that's the least I loan. I won't loan anything less than that. It's $100,000 to $1 million. Are you sure you don't want more? And I said, well, I'd love to have $1 million, but I don't want to pay for it, and I don't want the responsibility of dealing with it. So, no, I think $100,000 will do. And, you know, for the people that have heard somebody say, hey, you know, sign up for my program. We can get you maybe 25 to 50 points on your credit in 30 days. It only costs you $3,000. We took that money and paid down a bunch of debt because it was a private loan, which doesn't report to credit agencies. So it's like they have no clue where we got the money. We just paid down a bunch of debt. And my score went from about 680 to 800 in 90 days.
Wow.
So, you know, the best solution for getting your credit up there is just pay off your debt, but you got to have a way to do that.
Yes.
And so, you know, that having access to that kind of money, which people said, 12%, Dan, are you crazy? Well, you know, there's terms and then there's rates. Rates are great if they're low, yeah, but terms can be even better if you only need it for a short amount of time. So, you know, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing and what am I doing it for? Okay? Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, saved me so many times.
Same here.
Oh. So, let's go over some of this. NHBIG, I've got 2 entities, NHBIG and NHB LLC. NHBIG is a C Corp designed for earned income. NHB LLC, National Home Buyers LLC, is for investment income. Tax-wise, these are 2 different types of businesses, okay? And this will be taxed one way and this will be taxed another way. And that's kind of why I did it. One of the reasons is if you do a lot of wholesaling in an LLC, you could be deemed a dealer by the government, and they could come in and say, hey, we're going to shut you down, we're going to fine you, we're going to take away your IRAs and do all kinds of nasty, mean things to you. And you'll probably say, well, Dan, I've never heard that happening to anybody. It doesn't happen very often because people don't really do that kind of flipping in their LLC. And when I'm talking flipping, I'm talking not actually buying the property. You're just wholesaling the property. Once you buy the property and you fix it up, you're no longer wholesaling. You own the property, therefore you wouldn't fall into that problem. So you kind of have to see why that's going on. And that's why I chose to do that. You know, everybody's at different stages. You all need to decide what you need to do. That's just why I did this, okay? So in the wholesaling side, we can do 100 to 10 million, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not a penny out of our pocket. All we're doing is matching up agreements with people. Sam says, hey, Dan, I got this property I got to get rid of. It's $1 million. And, you know, we try to get that to somebody who wants it and needs it, and we exchange that agreement, and we make some money, and we never bought anything, we weren't responsible for anything, so it's a lot of work. It's very little responsibility, very little fear factor, it's just a lot of work, okay? And so if you've got the time and you want to do the work, you can do that. LLCs, well, you know, people will start investing in, and somebody will say, oh, you got to get out there, you got to get all these entities before you start doing that, or you're going to be in big trouble. You can be, it's possible, but most people start off doing things in their own name and eventually start putting them into LLCs because there are tax benefits and reasons for doing that. I used to work with investors and do joint venture relationships below 100,000. We spent 10 years doing that. We're not doing that anymore. It was a nightmare on the Midwest. Nothing but vacancies, repairs, all kinds of problems. A lot of our investors were kind of new, I guess, and it was like, Dan, do we really have to pay for repairs? You know, I know the agreement was that we were going to have to, but I don't have money for repairs. I only have money to buy it. It's like, well, this is kind of a bad time to be telling me that story. You know, so anything under 100,000, in my opinion, is just, and it actually, has anybody in here heard of Ron LeGrand? Wow, is he a Florida phenomenon? This guy's big. In any case, he said for years, don't do anything less than 100,000, it's just none of a crap. And I went, okay, whatever. Well, I was stupid, I should have listened to him. It was a lot of 10 years spent, you know, doing a lot of hard work. In any case, so we would focus on properties that are 100 to at least 500,000. We've got a rental here in town that's like, well, I think it's maybe 1.2 million. And we've got our daughter moving into it, and she's kind of helping fix it up, and we're showing her how to get tenants in there. But generally speaking, it might be 100 to 500,000, okay? This is the NHB website where we do the wholesaling, and these are all the things that you would get under your access, your belt, to be able to do this business working with me if you were to do that. I charge something like $600 a year for unlimited access to me, and that sounds crazy because you go, you mean people can call you anytime they want, and they can have access to you as much as they want for a whole year for only $600? And the answer is yes. And guess why? It's a lot harder than you think it is to do this work, and it doesn't take very long for people to burn out and go, oh man, my remote control is way more fun than doing that. You know? If you want to have something in life, and especially as you get older to retire, because we're going to talk about a lot of retirement stuff here, you've got to keep bringing some visualization back up of that goal in your face constantly, because the focus, the effort, the persistence is what you need to get there. But those three things will fade away really quickly when you start doing the work and quit bringing that goal back up in your face every day with a picture or something to remind you, why am I doing this? Do I have to do this? And one of the things that I see that people fail to mention and fail to actually do is, hey, if you're going to choose to do a goal and it's going to take X amount of your time, you got to start by saying, what am I going to get rid of? Everybody just keeps adding to their plate like, well, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. You're going to have to look at something and carve it out and go, okay, I'm going to quit golfing, or I'm going to quit watching sports, or something. I don't know. Whatever it is in your life, you're going to have to look at something and give it up. Because you just can't keep taking more new things on. You're just not going to do it. It's too difficult. It's too much. Okay? So this is the training, you know, that I give you, and you've got all kinds of information there to do that. This is the National Home Buyers website where we actually deal with the rental properties. And I've gone from rental properties to lease to own. And the reason I do lease to own is because you get a better clientele of people renting. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I don't want to do lease to own, I want long-term rentals. I want, these for a long time, I don't want to just sell them. Well, guess what? If you look up the statistics on how many times people actually buy a lease to own, it's a lot less than you think. And there's a lot of reasons why. If they're from 100,000 to 0, the reason is always the same. I don't have any money. I don't have any credit. I don't have the initiative to even try to do anything to get that. I don't care. I just want to stay here and sign something that says, sure, I'll do a lease to own, but the reality is I didn't pay much more to get into this than I would have a rental, so I don't care. That's 100,000 below. The people above that are like, well, I plan on buying it, but my wife and I aren't really getting along too well, and we split up, so that's not going to work. Or I got sick, or I got a job change, or I just don't like this town, or whatever the reason. And so, the average person who buys a house at this point in time is probably, maybe 7 years, maybe it's 5 now, maybe it's 3, and they move on for whatever reason. So you have a good clientele until that happens, and if they do buy it, hey, it's icing on the cake, you take your profits and you go get some more property, and you do it again. Santa Barbara Computing Services, I've done that for years. Michael will help you with websites and web design, different things. If you need that kind of support while we're going through this, because a lot of times, we have people that start getting some training or whatever, and they run out and they start spending a whole lot of things and money on stuff they don't need to. We can kind of help you with that. Go, nah, you don't need to go there. We can help you. Personal Power Project. This is really about your home, about your life, and about how you deal with this property that you are living in. Okay? If you look at the statistics out there, they'll say that the biggest investment most people make is the home that they live in. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, do I want a home that I can live in? Or would I rather have rentals and never even have a home that I own? That's another option. It's a lifestyle choice. This is a solar roof made out of glass by Tesla. It's not putting solar on a roof, it's actually the roof. Solar glass roof, completely. Electric car, this is a backup power, for keeping the power on. How many people in here have lost their power in the last 2 or 3 months? 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. That's more than the last time we had a meeting. Everybody just went, no, I never did, Dan. I don't know what your problem is. We live up on top of San Marcos Pass. Our power is out today. Our power goes out 3 and 4 times a month, every single month. A couple times announced, a couple times not announced. Edison is making changes. They're trying to fix things. Okay, well, great. It's reality. That's what happens. So I became an affiliate with Tesla. And if you want to buy a Tesla product, a car, solar, battery, whatever, I'm an affiliate. You get a deal going through me. I get a little something. Is it very much? Well, it's not so much that I'm going to spend a whole lot of time promoting this. But people who are and are really into it, one person I noticed got 2 Tesla roasters that he won from Tesla for promoting this on YouTube. Yeah, that's what they said. We got to change our rules really quick. That can't happen again. You know how that goes? But he got it. He got it. So in any case, it's there. And there's my referral link, and this is the page, what it looks like. That's not my website, that's theirs. Backup battery. I'm in the process of getting a backup battery. Time?
1:53.
I do not have much time, Sensei. We're not going to get through much of this, so I better speed up. We're getting a backup battery here in May. I'll have a meeting eventually and bring in some of these people who do this stuff, and they're going to speak to you. I couldn't go directly to Tesla, even though I'm an affiliate, because when I call them up, all their employers are like, oh, I can't go up on YouTube. They'll fire me. And I said, well, we had somebody from Tesla 3 years ago that went up on YouTube. Not now. They'll fire me. In fact, that guy doesn't even work for Tesla anymore. He decided to move on. But in any case, I went to a third party just so I can get them in here to talk to everybody and help educate us all so that I could video it and I could put it up on YouTube. I don't think it's probably going to cost me much different doing it that way. But that was my choice because I want people that can actually stand up here and say something. Okay? So that's going to be happening. Why is this a problem? Well, PG&E, 500,000 people out of power, that's a big problem. rebates for going this direction are going down, down, down. Pretty soon there will be no rebates. Of course, the price of equipment's going down, so maybe it doesn't matter. It's to you, it's your personal choice wherever you are. Battery backup, charges during the day, gets you power at night. Whether you have solar or not, doesn't matter. You could still decrease your electric bill if you were to have a backup battery. This is a car by Nissan that's coming out that you could actually plug into your house eventually, and when the power goes out, you can power your house for probably a week, or a few days at least. Tesla's been dragging their feet on giving this to us. Why? Because they give free charges to all their Tesla owners. What happens when somebody takes their Tesla car, runs downtown, charges it up, and keeps coming back home to power their house? That doesn't work for the power company, it doesn't work for Tesla, so they're going, we better not offer that feature, but they're hot on the heels, they're having to be forced into dealing with this, and they will deal with this, and this is one way they're dealing with it. Is that scary looking? Anybody recognize that? That's Tesla's pickup truck, the Cybertruck. That has a 220 plug in it that you can take and power your tools if you go to a job site, but you could also possibly plug it into your house. Nobody's gotten the specs on that yet. I'm dying to find out because of this one reason right here, and that is 500 miles on a single charge. How long do you think that will keep your house running? Probably a long time. Victor, one of the students I had here in the past, has got his $5,000 check from doing some wholesaling with me, so it does work. But let's talk a little bit about my plan, my retirement plan, because Sensei's got his retirement plan, and I'll tell you, his plan is by far better than mine because it's a comprehensive thing that you have to work on over a lifetime. I'm just telling you what can happen as you get toward your retirement years. I know I'm 70. I plan on living to be 120, and people look at me like, yeah, right. But I'm waiting for a scientific breakthrough, and if I can stay healthy long enough, it might be even longer. Who knows? I just saw something, they said, no, not 120, it could be 400 or 500. Anybody want to live for 400 or 500 years?
No, I'm tired.
Isn't that crazy? Nobody wants to.
I'll do it.
Is that how much we love life? I don't know. But in any case, this is a property that we bought where we live up on West Camino Cielo, and we bought it for $160,000 25 years ago. Okay, $160,000 was the lot, not the house, because there was no house there. So we spent about $300,000 building the house, so that's about $450 total bill. His estimate right now is $2.7 million. If you don't go into a market crash, it could hit 3 because it went up like $800,000 in the last 6 months, which is crazy. Or no, it went up. I don't know. But it's going on really fast. It can go down just as fast. The last recession, just to give you an idea, we're on really 7 acres. You're looking at about 2 acres right there. All that area we own, but we own way more than that behind the house, which you can't do anything with because it's just oak trees and poison oak and snakes and mountain lions and all kinds of nasty things that you just don't want to go down to unless you're a brave camper. And I've been there 25 years and I haven't been that brave. So I don't go down there. But in any case, here's the market. Before, this was our last peak, and then we went into this recent recession. Over here we came down, and we were in a recession kind of about the time we bought it, because we bought it when the guy was going bankrupt and having hard times, and that's why we picked it up. He was asking $350, we bought it for $160. How did that happen? Thank you, God.
What year was that you bought it?
Well, we bought around 95, and then there was a recession during that period of time. And, things just worked out. It's a long story. I'd be happy to tell you personally, but we don't have time now. In any case, the market dipped down. Okay, so at here, we were about 1.8 million. It dipped down here, so we lost, a lot of money when it came down here, but it doesn't matter if you can stay in the house. Then it came back up, and you can see it's still going up. My guess is, thank you for all that Corona beer, we're probably that, and the economy's been up there long enough, it's going to go down anyway. That's just going to exasperate the whole reason we're going to end up with a global recession eventually. It'll go back down. Big deal. But, here's the reason why it's a big deal to me. Right here, $5,700 is what the place would rent for. My wife has continually said, Dan, who cares if it's $10 million? You can't sell it. You don't want to take the money out of it because then you're going to owe the bills. What good is a high price? Well, guess what? The good part is you can rent, okay? This is a lifestyle choice. This is not something everybody here is going to want to do. But imagine you were renting rooms out in your house, okay? A lot of people say, I would never rent a room out in my house. I say, don't downsize. You know what happens when you downsize? You get into this mental thing where you go, oh, I've got to spend just this much. And then I got to figure out how to spend even less. And as the inflation goes up, oh no, I have to figure out how to spend even less. Well, you know, some people move out of their house, they rent it out completely. I read an article recently where this woman is living in her car with her dog, and she says, this is the best life I've ever lived. I will never do anything else. This is the future. This is what everybody's going to do. I don't think so, but she's happy, and that's all that matters. Everybody has something else in life they want to do, however they want to do it. You just need to figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it. Maybe it's not ever buy a house you live in. Maybe it's having rentals like Sensei's going to show you, and you can go wherever you want, anytime you want. It's all paid for from your rentals. If you kind of drill down into some of this, you're going to find out the health benefits of being social and having people around your life. Having renters in your house, if you do it right, is nice. You have friends, you become social, you have something that works out for everybody. Or you have a nightmare, and guess what? You end it as quick as you can so you can move on for everybody's sake. It's pretty easy to do, really. And if you were living, I mean, why would we do that here? That's the view we have from our front yard. That's one reason. There's a lot of reasons, but that's one reason. Okay? Imagine if you lived there for free. Okay? Well, you can, and it's just a matter of your choice. If you got a 30-year mortgage, Warren Buffett's a perfect example. He has the same house he's been in for 30 or 50 years. It's a modest lifestyle, modest car. He finally got his first, what do you call it, smartphone, went from flip phone. But he lives a really modest life, and he's one of the richest persons on the planet. And he really knows his investments and stocks and everything. But that's his choice. He's happy. Everybody has a choice. Everybody needs to find out what makes them happy so they can enjoy the journey. And why are we even here doing this? It doesn't matter what you do. What matters is that you do what you want to do. Everybody can sit up here all day long and say, hey, this is it. This is what everybody should be doing. Well, that's your first red flag. It's what you should be doing. Whatever you want, not what I say or anybody else says. You got to figure out what you want. Okay? So, Linda, we're there, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to get off my little podium here, and I want to say thank you for being here, everybody, and thank you for Sensei being here. You can't get to any of this stuff unless you do some of what Sensei is talking about, or you have a job and you do it, or you have a career or your business or something. You've got to do something to get to some point in life that works for you. And you don't have to wait forever. You can do it right now. It's just a matter of picking and saying every day, I'm only going to go toward what makes me happy. It took me years to get rid of this so that I could follow what my wife's been telling me for 25 years. Dan, you're just like too mental. Okay? Follow your heart. Sensei, come on up. I'd love to, but I'm not going to. But I love you.
Yes, I do, for sure.
Good.
All right, I'm going to